So I'm gonna let my daughter read it. Come on up. She been doing a bunch of stuff in the community, so I'm gonna pass the torch.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk is in police custody this morning.
And he was allegedly involved in a for hire plot. Roseanne is in studio with the very latest here. Roseanne?
U.S. Marshals arrest Lil Durk in Florida. Here's why I want to talk about this. I think I've addressed on multiple occasions just how toxic a lot of music is that we all enjoy, right? Emphasis on we, myself included. There's a few Durk songs, I don't know them by name, but there's a few songs by Durk that I know I had in playlists. I've touched on the city girl stuff and how that lifestyle leads to loneliness with a lot of women who try to embrace that mindset. I believe this is another perfect opportunity to touch on drill and gangster rap and just really be honest about the end result of this music and lifestyle. The kiss of death is what I want to start off with right here. And I'm talking about the keys to the city. And people are calling the keys to the city for any rapper or entertainer who receives those keys the kiss of death. And I don't blame them, because just 4 days ago, it was announced that Lil Durk received multiple keys, not just one, multiple, to the city in Cook County, Illinois.
So I'm gonna let my daughter read it. Come on up here, girl. She's a nurse, and she been doing a bunch of stuff in the community, so I'm gonna pass the torch.
On behalf of the Village of Bellwood, we are honored to present this key to the city to Durk Banks, Neighborhood Heroes. This key is a token of our appreciation for your collaboration and partnership. Thank you.
Look at that. Paparazzi, laughter, joy. Okay, so what I was really surprised by, if I'm going to be really honest with you, was that this post was shared on the Shade Room. And I didn't think I was going to see this, but a lot of people were actually calling out how crazy this is. For example, this commenter who says he literally has songs about black men. Another commenter here added, Chicago is doomed. Stop glorifying rappers. Here's somebody else who says, instead of hating, y'all should admire his growth and want better for not just him, but you as well. This is an interesting comment, because when I read a comment like this, I think of the last person who received keys, Diddy. And I wonder if other people would see that from the same perspective when it comes to him. In these situations where somebody catches a case, it's usually a situation where there's a life that's either been lost, or in this situation attempted to be lost, or multiple lives have been taken. If you really think about it, you can't say one is better than the other, right? Comment down below what you think so far. Here's somebody else who says, every time they give black men keys, they take them back. I'm starting to think once you get them keys, it means you're going to jail at this point. Could have given it to a black doctor, this commenter says, lawyer, scientist. As you can tell, a lot of people had opposing opinions about this particular situation. So Durk is facing some serious charges in connection to an alleged deletion for hire, as in him hiring people to delete someone else. Here's more information on the topic from an attorney explaining the case.
Grammy award-winning rapper Lil Durk has been arrested for a hire conspiracy plot out of California. So, a little background, make sure we get this right. Lil Durk's cousin was killed in Atlanta in 2020. It was suspected by an individual with the last name Bowman, who goes by Quando Rondo, was behind the. So 2 years later, the allegations are that Durk and members of an organization, his band OTF, Only the Family, were responsible, that he went and got them together, went out to California, bankrolled them, got flights, got everything together so that they would carry out the murder of the person who's suspected of killing his cousin. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Generally, the feds do not mess with murder. cases. They don't deal with those. But as you just heard, we've got a bunch of different states involved. We've got Atlanta. We've got Florida, where little Durk lives. We've got Chicago, where only the family is based and where he's originally from. We've got California, where the is said to have occurred. Hence, all of these different states, different jurisdictions, it makes it much easier for the federal government to get involved.
Right.
But usually are handled by the state. When is handled by the state, what you have is something called accessory before the fact and accessory after. Accessory before the fact is sort of like Training Day when somebody handed the gun and said, "You kill Alonzo." That's accessory before. If you give the weapon, if you give, if you help, if you aid in carrying out the, guess what? It's the same thing as being guilty of the, usually carries the same amount of time as the underlying charge. Accessory after the fact is if you're the getaway driver. Shoo! If you're the getaway driver, you don't actually carry the same amount of time because you've helped after. This Fed situation, the for hire plot, first of all, how dumb can you be? Literally, if those are the allegations, there are 1 million Dateline episodes in which hires don't work.
By the way, everybody's information, original content will be in the description of this video.
And additionally, if you're involved with that many people, somebody's going to end up snitching. As a matter of fact, probably what has happened, since the feds are involved and have been involved in looking at this for quite some time, there's been something called a proffer. What is a proffer? A proffer is when the feds are involved and the feds know that there's somebody possibly involved. And there is all these allegations, 6 people involved in this murder. 6. And so if there are 6 people, you don't think that they went to each one of them and said, "Want a deal?" And they said, "Uh-uh. All right, next. Want a deal?" "Uh-uh. Next." Because when you're looking at for hire in the federal system, here is the way the charges are determined. 1, for hire, nobody's hurt whatsoever. You're looking at 0 to 10 years. That's one when the feds figure it out and they catch you before something happens. You hire the bullshit hitman. That's 0 to 10 years. If somebody is hurt, you're now looking at 20 years. If somebody is killed, you're now looking at life or death.
20 years if they're hurt? That's crazy.
So what has happened is they go and they've done probably a proffer. A proffer is when the federal government comes to you and says, "Look, if you tell us everything you know, everything, and we don't already know it, we ain't going to use that shit against you. So if you help us out with old banks, if you show us these credit card receipts, if you show us everything that he's done, we're not saying you're going to go free, but we got these 3 categories. We might take you away from that life and death category to get you to the 0 to 20, and you start working around and start helping yourself out." That's what a proffer is. So in this situation, murder for hire plots, not the smartest thing you can get into. If you ever watch any television show whatsoever, you know why they never work out. That being said, it appears as though Mr. Banks has hired Brian Bieber again, one of the best lawyers out of Florida, for his representation. So let's see exactly what's going to end up happening. He is currently waiting extradition. He is in Florida jail, so he's waiting extradition out to California. They said California is the place he ought to be, so they loaded up the truck and they moved to Beverly. Ain't no ticket, because they ain't till nothing taken. They shooting on Major Love.
All right. So he said something there about if you watch TV shows, or I'm assuming it's like true crime or something like that. Sometimes, but I know what I do watch is YouTube. And I saw this short. I'll check out YouTube once in a while when I can. I saw this short with the caption, "Life sentence changed his whole energy." This dude's getting questioned in the room. And once he hears that he might be facing life, he starts to snitch.
I did not kill nobody. I did not kill nobody. No, I don't know nothing about no murder. I don't know nothing about no murder.
I don't understand why you keep lying.
That is a snitching. I would die. This is not no joke. You would die. Like, you would die for snitching out here. People die for that. Real talk. Mama, people get popped and killed for snitching.
We're talking about life sentences here.
Right. And this is like really just listen. Your actions and the people you choose to hang with and all of this. Taj killed all 3 of them.
Okay. Tell me about it.
The whole story?
Were you there?
Let him talk. Tell me the whole story. Okay?
Just like that. Tell me the whole story, they said. He sat there and probably said, I'm going to need a glass of water because this is going to be a long night. All right, so listen, there are people who are devastated right now. And if you're a fan of any musician and you find out that they're involved in some disturbing legal trouble, if you're a fan of Lil Durk's, you know, you're going to be affected. You're going to be affected, especially if you grew up on his music and you listen to his music. A musician can make music that you can acknowledge is great, but not agree with their lifestyle, not support their lifestyle. A lot of people will act like you're evil for acknowledging someone like R. Kelly is talented when the reality is both of those things can be true at the same time. You're not wrong for acknowledging that person's talent, because the reason why I say that, because a lot of people act like you're all of a sudden supposed to say, oh, everything that person's ever produced is trash. No. Now, what I don't get is why anybody would want to be a drill rapper in today's day and age. I don't get it. With AI technology where it's at, remove the morals out of it. If you could choose a career path that you're most likely going to end up in a category, like they should put drill rap today. If you're a legit gangster rapper, that career should be put in the same category as self-deletion. Why? Because with today's technology and how sophisticated everything is, they are going to catch you. So in a way, you're kind of accepting that your life as you know it may end very soon on this career path, and all the managers and everybody who's cheering you on around you to spew out toxicity and encourage your behavior, and they're profiting off you, remains unscathed and untouched. Is there anybody who's uncomfortable about that? Right? No one's going to go after the record labels. Nobody. But they were encouraging him to write more songs, more toxicity. I remember when I first decided to start seriously limiting the amount of toxic music I was exposing myself to, and it was after I watched that King Von documentary. That's what did it for me. I was like, yo.
When I think about Lil Durk getting locked up by the feds, my mind immediately goes to peer pressure. Especially in the black community, bro. We got like this rule that you gotta get your get back with everything. Like, for example, if somebody call you a bitch, you gotta do something about that. And if like you don't care or you don't give a fuck, everybody gonna call you a bitch. Everybody gonna basically egg you on to crash out. And that's exactly what happened with King Von, bro. I'm pretty sure King Von wanted to slide for Von, but like he was thinking about his career and shit, but everybody egging him on.
You mean Durk? He's talking about Durk wanted to slide for Von because he said King Von wanted to slide for Von, right?
Probably in real life and online. And I'm so glad I learned this shit at a young age, bro. Like when people be trying to egg you on to crash out and shit, they don't really care about the situation. They don't care about you. They just want to see a show. They want to see you fight somebody. Let's keep it chicken pea, bro. Majority of people do not care about Von. They don't care about Durk. They look at this shit like reality TV and they want you to crash something and be the little crash dummy. And they'll have you doing some shit that you don't even want to do, but you did it because of peer pressure. I just want everybody to think for themselves. If you don't want to do something, don't do it. Don't let nobody egg you on to do some shit you don't want to do. Because if you go down, niggas ain't going down with you. I can promise you that.
I don't know about that. Pure pressured? He was peer pressured? I don't know. I can't agree with that, dog. I think a lot of the rappers who, it's well known, like that's the elephant in the room. Most listeners know the rappers who are out here really in the streets. I think a lot of those guys have been very clear about what they are willing to do out in the open in their lyrics. I don't think this is a pure pressure situation. If you guys disagree, comment down below. In conclusion, I do believe that there are more conversations that need to be had about music and the type of lifestyle it promotes, especially for someone who values the nuclear family. You know, you want to make sure that children have the best upbringing possible. If you don't care, you don't care, right? If you don't care, you don't care. But if you do, there is a conversation to be had about the music and supporting something that goes directly against that goal. And to be clear, I think that decision ultimately should be rooted in you wanting to provide the best atmosphere to give yourself the best peace of mind. Peace of mind. What you're putting in your mind matters. That's where it starts for me, right? Because I think a lot of people can hear that and think, oh, so you think you're better than everyone else. No. This is for me. This is for my own peace of mind. If you feel better and happier after listening to violence and you believe that it has no effect on you, will have no effect on your children, then, you're free to live that life, right? But I do think there are a lot of people who are like me. I think there are a lot of people who are thinking to themselves, man, this is toxic. I got to stop listening to this. I want to encourage you that yes, life is better if you give into that conviction and you have more peace the less trash you're putting in your mind. Trash when it comes to what the person is promoting. Is it contradictory to what you stand for? And I'm not necessarily saying that where I draw my line, because I do listen to some rap still, but I have a line that I've drawn. I'm not saying that your line has to be my line. I think everybody's capable of making that decision for themselves. And I think doing something in that area in your life and monitoring what you allow in your mind. And if you have children, making sure that you're careful with what you expose them to, that matters. Listen, guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you, as always, for checking out yet another episode of The Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.